And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from the Women of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today we are going to actually do something different. I'm going to react to a video that I did over a year ago on this channel. So that's a bit different. Just want to make sure that the internet's fully plugged in so you guys get the best optimal experience as always. And let's get going. It is this one. Priorities for high value woman preparing for 3 in love. Let's get started.
Channel, my name is Joseph Darling. I hope you've had a fantastic day. Today I'm ready to share with you the priorities of a high value woman who especially desires 3 girls in love, as we talk about on this channel. On the Men of High Value channel, I went a long time before I shared with them concerning 3 girls in love.
And you probably want to see what's going on the screen as well. Let's go.
However, now it has been revealed, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but most of them are going to learn it from here.
By the way, I have not seen this video for a year, so I'm just as fresh to this as you guys probably.
That I prioritize on the Men of High Value channel is mostly what their next step is. Very often, the most important next step I teach them is to avoid women as much as possible. In other words, to practice semen retention and to practice voluntary celibacy.
Okay, so for all those that are new to this channel that have never seen this before and they're wondering what is this, well, my channel, it was called 3 in Love before. We renamed it to Women of High Value, and because it's just more broad-based and we want everyone to understand all of the principles that are going on, and people wouldn't get it if the title is 3 in Love. Like, what is that? So here I'm basically explaining what women need to do in order to prioritize, like what they need to prioritize in order for them to be prepared for 3 in Love. And what is 3 in Love? 3 in Love is where you as a woman have the opportunity to actually never ever be blamed forevermore. That's really what 3 in Love is, if you put it from your perspective of like what you might want in the future. And you might want to never ever be blamed for what you do, because you know that your emotions happen to you and as a result you behave accordingly. And it would be nice if someone would take all of the blame from you at some point in the future so that you can live a carefree, wonderful, unburdened life, not worrying about what people are going to think, what people are going to do, whatever, because you got a man who is a man of high value, who's trustworthy, who's financially very well off, and yes, he does have 3 women, so you have the opportunity to never ever be alone, and you get to have fun with your best friends forever. That's really what 3 in Love is, very shortly summed up from your, from your perspective. Because very often women, when they hear, what, I have to share my man with 2 women? That doesn't make any sense. But when you hear it from the perspective of, he only gets this if he actually does his part, okay, of never dispensing of women, providing very well for them, taking all of the blame for everything and anything that goes wrong, then it actually might be quite nice for you to live harmoniously with 2 friends that you have, and you guys share the same high value man. Like, from your perspective, oh, I never want to share my man. Okay, I get that. But think about it in terms of, what if it was Orlando Bloom? Or what if it was Justin Bieber? Or what if it was one of your favorite movie stars? Would you not mind that you shared him with someone else who, by the way, loves you as well? Okay? Like, this is, the women are unified in this system. So anyway, we're reacting to the video.
That's the things that I tell them to do, and then to set up their financial foundation by becoming leaders. Okay, so I tell them the 5 phases of leadership, which is allow yourself to be led, and then next one is to lead yourself, meaning self-control and discipline, and then to lead others, or to build teams of people in order to build businesses for them to be wealthy, for them to be financially strong, so that they can take upon themselves those awesome, amazing 3 girls in love families in the future.
So you see, we're starting out with what men need to prioritize, and you can actually see it's quite intense. I'm telling them to be voluntary celibate, to practice semen retention so there's no porn, no ejaculation, no partying, no spikes of any dopamine, whatever. you know, that they very often seek out because, you know, boys don't grow up these days. And I'm telling them all of these things so that they can prepare for you, okay? To prepare for you women and to prepare to set up amazing, beautiful 3-in-Love families, okay? They have a very, you know, difficult hell to go through initially without any hope of 3-in-Love in the beginning. I mean, it's like a distant fairy tale future, you know, in their minds. It motivates them like crazy, but it's in the distant future, and they don't know if they're gonna get it in the future, blah blah blah. But they're, you know, they're excited about doing the work, etc. Okay, they're gonna get there. They're gonna get what I'm suggesting to them. It's just that it's extremely difficult journey that they have to go through. Your journey, well, it's gonna be tough as well, because you're living in a world right now where it's kind of difficult to find a man of high value. There are not many of them, and the ones that are, they're already taken, right? And so we got to prepare both genders for this unification of you know, creating families that have the opportunity of giving you joy, bliss, and happiness for as long as you live. And the way that that functions is basically love, okay? We have a system in place that allows you to not only fall in love, because that's a science, but then also to stay in love, which is also a science. It's amazing. If once you understand the science of relationships and you know, relationship technology, as I call it, life becomes like exciting. It's motivating, you know, other than the fact that you know, you're failing forward on your journey towards preparing for it, but the aspect of visualizing how it's going to look like in the future, if you understand the ins and outs and how this all works, it's amazing. It's fantastic. Okay? We're preparing the next generation of you know, of evolution, really. You know, families are going to evolve into having amazing kids that eventually have amazing kids that have amazing kids, and then you build up this massive community of people that are fired up outside their brain, who fall in love and stay in love forever. Do you understand what kind of communities we're building up here? This is going to be insane. I'm fired up outside my brain. Let's go.
If 3 girls in love is what you desire, then you guys have completely different priorities than what I teach men of high value. Your priorities as a feminine woman, in my own estimation, should never be on a financial career and to have those kinds of ambitions. It would be very wise for you to set your ambitions on those things that matters most, which is emotional fulfillment, happiness, health, and being able to spread that to all of the people in your nearest circle.
Whoa, that's pretty intense. Okay, so you see what I'm saying here? Number one, stop being worldly ambitious. And when I'm saying worldly ambitions, I'm talking about doing stuff that is not going to serve you for the long term from a return on investment perspective. Okay, the most valuable return on investment a woman could ever create for herself is passive income. What is passive income? Passive income is an income that you build up towards. It's very difficult to build, okay? You got to build up systems in order for you to get passive income. But then once you've built up the system, after you've built up the system, there's now money coming in for the rest of your life, as long as you live, as long as the system is still in place, and you're simply maintaining and overseeing and making sure that the system is working, okay? You don't have to build it up anymore, you know, kind of like, just like if I was to, you know, do real estate or whatever, it would take me a long time to build up a real estate portfolio that eventually would be my retirement, because people would pay me rent for the rest, you know, of my life type thing. That takes time. But once it's established and you've got tenants that you can trust, and you know, and they stay there for a long period of time, that check will come in every single month, whether you work or not, right? And same thing with YouTube channel, right? You make videos, tons of videos, there's tons of work that goes into all of it, but then eventually there's a point in time, as long as you keep maintaining the channel, there's an income that comes from it, from the ad revenues on YouTube, right? In the same way, I want you to build up a passive income system, but that passive income system is not a financial system, so to speak. It is your man. A man of high value who loves you and who loves his two other women who you share him with, and then he just pays for everything. It's like it's almost as if money grows on trees. Now, obviously, this is not going to be like that in the beginning. In the beginning, you know, you got to make sure that the relationship is there, that there's a strong foundation being built up, you know, that everyone is on the same page, etc., etc. So in the beginning, probably he's not going to spend very much of his money, right? But as you know, you as a woman and you three together allow him to work and to build up consistency, and he continues his journey of becoming a man, becoming masculine, and developing power, he's going to develop an exponential growth curve in his skills, which will create consistency, which will create exponential growth in his money. Okay? And the more money he has, the more money you guys will get in passive income. There is no better investment than you working on yourself in order for you to get a man of high value, who's trustworthy, who never dispenses of women, and who makes it work. Okay? Now, obviously, how do I know that he's gonna work? Because I got trust issues. Yeah, you need to watch the last video that I made on this channel, which was called Self-Esteem 101 for Women. Self-esteem has everything to do with your ability to trust in a man, really, but trusted people in general. But if you trust in a man of high value and he's actually trustworthy, okay, so he's worthy of your trust, then it could work. As long as he is trustworthy. That's the only problem here. If he's trustworthy, actually you won't have any other ability than to trust him. That's what's kind of cool. If a man actually knows what he's doing when it comes to female nature, and he's trustworthy from his own perspective, and he trusts himself, and then he understands female nature, and he trusts in his ability to provide and to protect, then the women trusting him is a natural product of that. Okay, like that's gonna happen naturally, whether he likes it or not. That's what happens with men who are integral and who actually keep their promises, keep their commitments, and are trustworthy, right? Women trust those guys. And obviously he needs to have the other aspect of, you know, them being attracted to him and all that stuff, but that kind of is automatic in 3 in Love. It's amazing how that works. But anyway, just wanted to put that out there. Passive income, girls. Why would you not want passive income? Like, that investment right there is better than investing in gold, better than investing in silver, better than investing in Bitcoin. Okay? Any investment that you can make in your entire life, even 400 college degrees, cannot compare to the return on investment on finding a man of high value who's trustworthy and who never dispenses of you in terms of him providing for you in terms of passive income. Just wanted to kind of clarify and put that in there because it's amazing, okay? And yeah, will you be expected to do work as well? Well, guess what? All of the work that you do for your man is stuff that you would do naturally anyway, okay? Are you gonna cook for yourself and for your friends? Yes. Okay, can he have a dish too? Great, you give him a plate, fantastic. He's gonna enjoy that, okay? You know, he comes home, you haven't seen him for a while. Hi honey, how are you doing? Is that hard work? He's coming home and he's fired up because he actually gets attention when he comes home and he's providing for you guys, so you kind of are excited to see him again because he's been gone for a while. What else is there? Like your sexuality. Is that work when you're 3 women who massively want to be with him sexually? No, there's no work involved there other than work that you want to do. Do you see what I'm saying here? Like being one of the 3 women in a 3 in Love relationship, in a relationship with the man who's trustworthy and who's a man of high value, who's literally a man of high value, received the stamp of approval, etc. It's not even work for you guys. Literally, you would do that stuff anyway. So there's just too many benefits to sum up for women in this system. Okay, as long as you know the principles are applied according to female nature, and that's taught on this channel. For those of you guys who's the first time you watch this video on this channel.
So let's go through some priorities. Number one, if you are even considering or thinking about potentially maybe 3 Girls in Love could be something that I'm interested in, I highly recommend that that's the first thing you do. You study out this channel. And I'm not talking about watching the last, couple of videos here and there. I'm talking about studying it. Having pen and paper, sitting down, taking notes, and going through the entire channel. And then you comment on those channels and ask tons of questions.
Boom! Okay, that kind of blows me away a little bit. Yeah, why don't you do that? I mean, how many videos do I have? Like 200 or something? It's gonna take you a while. What I would recommend though is watching like 50 videos and then watch those 50 videos one more time. And then do it like that, because like the third time you've listened to a video, it's amazing what you pick up, okay? It's the power of 3. 3 Girls in Love, 3 times watching the same video. Because you'll pick up different things here and there that just like, oh, I had never thought of that before. And it allows you to ask me questions. That's what I'm here for. And I do it for free still, okay? So like, make sure you make use of me while I'm still free. Right now, I have capacity to reply to DMs, okay, on Instagram, @menofhighvalue. DM me, ask me questions, and if you're pissed about it, be pissed about it on my DMs, okay? Like, I want to hear what your thoughts are, because I love to hear what you guys think about these things, because this is going to revolutionize your life. And to be honest with you, you're the first people in the world that kind of gets part of this discovery, and it's amazing. It's going to revolutionize the world.
Because questions is how you get answers. As simple as that. The decision you make about which kind of family lifestyle you desire to have in your future, together with the decision of which man you will do it with, is the most important decision that you will ever make. So make sure you thoroughly study this out in your heart, in your mind, and also with everyone around you. Involve them in this decision so that they can study it out for themselves as well.
This is a powerful video. Wow. Oh, man, I knew what I was talking about 1 year ago too. But basically, yeah, you should do that. You should involve other people in this decision. It's the most important decision that you'll ever make. You know, the kind of family lifestyle you have, whether it's monogamy or it's 3 in love, it's a huge decision, because once you enter into monogamy, it's kind of difficult to move towards 3 in love, because now you're unequal with the 2 other women that eventually will enter into your relationship if you later choose to do 3 in love. Because now there's inequality. You have more track record with this guy. The women feel that you have him more than they have him, in the sense of, from a trust perspective, and they come from the outside and looking in, blah, blah, blah. It becomes extremely difficult to set up 3 in love if you already have a relationship in place. The best way to establish it is having 3 different women coming from 3 different backgrounds enter into the relationship. They all love each other, because the man takes the blame, but also because they like each other. They enjoy spending time together, and it's a fit that they develop over time that is beautiful. There's no intimacy, no sexuality, nothing involved in the beginning, and it's just them getting to know each other on a non-intimate level, because that's important. That's how it needs to be established. So, but yeah. It's a hugely important decision, most important decision in your entire life. So this is not just a channel that you just, oh, nice video, and then pass by and watch another channel from other relationship gurus. Like, there's no one who teaches you how to fall in love and stay in love other than me. Sorry, but this is the current circumstance in 2021, March 2nd, okay? Like, let me know if there's anyone else in the future who teaches how to actually stay in love forever. I'd be very intrigued to have a conversation with them, because I have not found them yet.
A lot of people are going to reject it, obviously, because it's different. But just because something is different doesn't mean that it's not right for you. The second thing that I highly recommend for you to do as a priority is to make a decision today to be voluntary celibate right now. Starting from now, let's forget about what happened in the past. You're gonna be a virgin again, okay? And just basically say, I'm not going to have any sexual relationships, and I'm not even going to date because I'm not interested in that right now. I want to figure myself out first. That's a very wise decision because it sets you up for not being rejected anymore by someone who is wasting your time.
Oh my gosh, beautiful. Okay, you don't want to keep digging your grave. Okay, the more sexual partner counts you get with guys, random guys that are not high value and that are not going to provide that passive income aspect that I just explained in the beginning, it's a waste of time, but it's also literally not of your own fault, but it's lessening your value in terms of the man of high value who you'd want to desire you in the future. No offense, but that's just how it is. You increase your partner count, your value decreases with it. Okay? Increase partner count, value decreases. Voluntary celibacy actually allows you to level up your value immediately. Okay? A man of high value, if he hears that you've been celibate for 2 years or 3 years, just waiting for the right guy, making sure that everything's in place because you want to be a stay-at-home mother and you want to do this, that, and the other. It's like ching, 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 ching in his brain. He's like, wow, this is exactly what I've been looking. Where have you been all my life? Okay, that's what you need. You don't want to be like, yeah, I just got out of a very difficult relationship and blah, 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 blah. Okay, like that's not going to help your cause. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so don't keep digging if you've already dug yourself a grave. It's time now to kind of put some earth back on, you get what I'm saying? Like elevate your performance in terms of your high valueness by being voluntary celibate and stop sleeping around. Take yourself out of that environment. No more partying, no more texting guys. Guys who text you, just block them immediately because it's not interesting right now. Right now, you're focused on creating your amazing family lifestyle that you want for yourself for the rest of your life. If you're 30 years old, you literally have 60 to 70 years left or more. Okay? So plan accordingly because you're not getting any younger. If you're 20 years old, you still have 80 years. Okay? But that you need to plan now because at between 20 and 22, that's your opportunity to catch the highest value men ever. I'm not making this up. That's a fact. Okay? So if you want to have the best high value man possible, then secure him during that time frame so you don't have time for all the other crap that other 20 and 22-year-olds are doing these days. You don't. So instead of taking on the world's burdens and trying to get a promotion at work or getting a flippant master's degree, okay, don't do that crap. Prepare for a man who's actually going to provide for you the return on investment for the rest of your life. Passive income, okay? Is it wrong to use a man for his money? Is it wrong for a man to want sex because he provides well? No, we're perfectly designed for each other, okay? Your man is not just going to be your best friend. He's going to be someone that wow, okay? That's what you want. And you want to have that with your two best friends, okay? That's what we're creating here. And yeah, it's amazing.
But Joseph, I'm getting older. I'm going to hit the wall soon. I'm more than 25 years old. You know what? It is better for you to prepare yourself to be ready. When you are ready, other people around you will make sure that the right man appears.
If you're 60 years old, this is a perfect time to start preparing for 3 in Love. I'm telling you, you've got 40 years left. You'll actually live longer in 3 in Love. Trust me. Just simply because you're fired up outside your brain and motivated on a daily basis and happy. You know the happiness advantage when it comes to living a long life? Positivity is one of the biggest precursors for a long life. You're gonna have that in 3 in Love if you find a trustworthy 3 in Love guy who's received the stamp of approval, okay, from this community, and that requires quite a lot. Okay, like no one has qualified yet. Okay, will they soon in the future? Well, let's see who gets there first, shall we? Will you be ready first, or will they be ready first? Interesting.
If you are spending time with the right people, that is. Stop using any form of addictive substances or stimulants that you use in order for you to mask how you are feeling or for you to temporarily feel good, but you know the crash will come after you have felt good. Okay, all of those substances we're trying to get rid of. What are some of these substances? You already know, but I'll just mention them anyway. Alcohol, cigarettes, weed, any other drugs, prescription or otherwise, over the counter, whatever it is. Coffee, porn, any of these other stimulants or substances that you use in order for you to feel good in the moment, to mask what's going on, get rid of it. Because once you get rid of that stuff, you begin to know who you are. You begin to know your body in and out. You begin to understand what happens, cause and effect, with things that are entering into your life. Because very often, right now, if you're using a lot of these stimulants and substances, your body is not able to recognize what's wrong and what's not. And you don't know what is causing the issues that you're having in your life. Because if you weren't using any of these substances and stimulants, then if anything entered into your life that was not good for you, you would immediately feel it. You'd become sensitive to the influences that are happening around you.
Oh my gosh, that's so true. And I could add birth control there. If you're voluntary celibate, you could literally get off birth control. See how that works and see how your body reacts to that. You'll get the truth. And the truth is what happens. Okay, and it might get worse before it gets better, but trust me, it gets better. Once you begin to live according to nature, amazing things happen.
It's obviously not going to be easy to get off these substances. However, imagine how it's going to feel like to not have any emotional debt towards any form of addiction. It makes you free, and the less baggage you have going into your future family relationship, the better. The fourth thing that I'll mention also has to do with freedom, and that is understanding the FIRE movement. FIRE stands for Financially Independent Retire Early Movement. This is basically about you completely cutting your expenses a lot, so as to one day be able to be completely financially free and not having to go to work ever again. The most important thing that you can learn from this movement is to live on less, and to be thrifty, and to be grateful for the things that you do have. Very often when we're high spenders and we consume a lot and we're part of the rat race and everything that's going around in society today, we stop feeling. And I want you to return back to feeling as much as possible. And becoming part of the FIRE movement as to cutting as many expenses as possible can help you to practice more and more gratitude in your life.
Wow, that's one thing I don't talk about a lot these days, but it's true. I mean, the less you spend, the less you have to work. Did you know that? It's almost as if, like, you know, that I remember a small saving box, you know, you put pennies in, or dollars or Norwegian kroners or whatever I used to save up before. And on it, it said a penny saved is a penny earned, right? You saving money is just the same as working, but it just allows you to work less because you got more money, okay? Because you're not spending it on stuff. So that's a great way for you to prepare for 3 in Love, not because you'll have money for when he enters into your life. The moment he enters into your life, you don't need the money anymore. We're really just trying to prepare you so that you can have the money that you need and the safety and the security that you need until that man arrives, right? Because life costs money, and you know, it's very interesting, uncertain economic times we live in, so you need to have a job, obviously, but cutting your expenses would be prime. Like, cut the subscriptions that you have, cut this, cut that, cut this, okay? Like, you know what I'm saying. This is going to help you to be a woman of high value, because it also makes you low maintenance. That's a good thing, okay? Let's kind of put off the high maintenance until you're with the 2 other girls, and then once he makes exponential amounts of money, then you can begin to spend a little bit more, you know what I mean? Like, and spend even more and a bit more and a bit more. Because at some point, he becomes so wealthy and so rich because it's impossible for a man who's motivated outside his brain for him to not to make that kind of money, especially when he's part of the movement that we've created on the Men of High Value channel. Those guys will become millionaires. It's impossible for them not to if they actually apply the principles on the channel. So, but he's not going to be a millionaire once you first start dating him, but heck, who knows? Maybe he might. But, yeah.
Obviously, do not take it to the extreme. You still have to live. You still have to enjoy yourself sometime one way or another. But just simply understand the movement and know that it's there because it's going to help you a lot in the long run. Number 5 also has to do with money, and that is basically cutting your massive career ambitions. If you're going to live 3 girls in love, there's no point for you to build a massive business. There's no point for you to actually go out and become successful at your job and climb the career ladder. There's no point for that. Okay, so instead, find a job or keep a job that is stress-free as much as possible so that you can focus on the other areas of your life to take care of them. I'm not saying quit your job because that's not good. You need to have a job in order to provide for yourself until your knight in shining armor comes along and swoops you off your feet. That's going to happen if you participate in this channel. But for now, you need to have a full-time job to cover your expenses and to cover your bills and for you to feel safe and secure with what's going on in your life. The next one is absolutely very, very important for you to become fully emotionally fulfilled. A healthy self-image is absolutely critical. And yes, you can love your body and yourself the way you are. However, you want to be very attractive. Beauty is important for femininity, just as I mentioned in the other video. And in order to have others truly and unconditionally love you, it's important for you to look good, or at least as good as you can, so that you also can expect that they also look as good as they can for you. Beauty is important. A daily exercise regimen is completely dependent on you and what you like to do. The more you enjoy the actual exercise, the more likely it is that you're going to keep on doing it every single day. And the key...
This is actually really good advice. Like, seriously. In terms of beauty, yeah. Like, there's 2 aspects. You got depth, okay? Which is the long-term perspective. You know, you want so intense depth that nothing could ever separate you, right? Obsession. You want to be obsessed with your man, but you also want your man to be like, wow, you know, that in terms of he needs you, like he wants you, not he needs you. That's the wrong one. He wants you, okay? It's a huge difference, actually. But that requires for you to also practice the shallow, right? It's 50-50. You gotta have the long term, because without the long term, you don't get the depth. But you gotta have the beauty, the attraction in order to create the shallow. They're both important. And the world's gotten warped. Like they've turned it all the way towards shallow so that everyone is just thinking about the shallow, 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 and then they never ever get depth. And because there's no depth, they never get joy, bliss, and happiness. However, if you take it all the way to the extreme, the other direction, then people are like, they get bored. And it's like, it's not special. It's not, wow. It's not, packaged in a beautiful, you know that when you buy a product, the package is half the thing? Have you noticed? You go into a perfume store and it's like, imagine if all of those things were just small, gray cardboard boxes, and then they had a perfume in there that was in a small little weird container that didn't look good. Would you buy that product? No, you wouldn't. Okay, so the packaging is important. Okay, don't let that go. But obviously you know this. I'm just kind of giving you guys an example of what I mean. But that is a priority. It's a huge priority if that's something that you are struggling with in terms of a healthy self-image. And even if you think that you have a healthy self-image, but your BMI is quite high, then it's okay. It's not a problem. It's not your fault. The only problem is that we can't force the Men of High Value to choose you. Does that make sense? Like, before he selects you, there's going to be somewhat of you got to prepare yourself so that you're the one that's selected together with your 2 best friends. You know what I mean? Like, once you are selected, unconditional love is the rule from the man. But before he commits to you guys, he has the choice. He has conditional love. And the first thing he sees is like first impressions are everything, right? And that's unfortunately or fortunately the package he sees, you know? So it's important. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And it's time to work on it if you haven't already. But you kind of probably are already, so I'm not going to delve deeper into it, blah, blah, blah. But seriously, and if you want me to make more videos on that type of subject, like weight loss and how to work around your hormones, etc., in order for you to actually succeed more faster with the weight loss, etc., just comment down below and tell me, and I'll share some thoughts.
Key point here is to do it not strenuously, but every single day. This is one of the few disciplines that I recommend that you have in your life. Nothing else. I'm not trying to make you masculine, obviously. We want to keep our femininity. However, exercising every single day is crucial for your long-term health and happiness. Make sure you do that. And I recommend if you have not exercised for a very, very, very long time, begin with simply walking 15 minutes every day. And then bump it up until 1 hour every day. If you can do that, just 1 hour walking, and then maybe listen to these videos as you do so, amazing things are going to happen for your health over the long term. And together with that,
amazing. So that's great advice, and you know, and if you want to speed up the process, don't invest in purses, don't invest in clothes, don't invest in a coffee maker, don't invest in this, that, and the other. Invest in a personal trainer if you're ready for it. If you're not ready for it, then okay, then hold off and save up for it. And I'm talking now financially and kind of physically ready for it. But that's going to give you results fast. And it's going to make you masculine, but then you got to stop doing all the other masculine stuff that you're doing so that you can retain your femininity and only have your masculinity be used in that area of your life, if that makes sense. Because you have a limit to how much masculinity you can use until you become, you know, exhausted and done, and your life becomes horrible and your health deteriorates. Like, the more masculine you become, the bigger problems you get from a health perspective and relationship perspective. And we don't want to go down that road. But we need discipline in some things. And if you're not where you want to be from a health standpoint, then that's what you need to focus on.
In order for you to become a complete and amazing homemaker, learning to cook is absolutely a fantastic thing to learn. This will not only help your health in terms of you improving your health right now, in terms of your exercise and eating habits and all that stuff, but also the better you cook, the more you will be loved as a mother and as a wife. It has been said that a way to a man's heart is through his stomach, okay? Partly true, I don't know, but the point is, the better food you make, oh my gosh, you make life heaven for people if you become an expert at cooking. I'm just saying, take some cooking classes or learn from YouTube, develop your own recipes, whatever it is. Other than that, I've written down...
I think it's a great suggestion. I mean, you gotta also understand though, like, yeah, I hate the kitchen. I don't like the kitchen. Okay, I get that. But very often the biggest reason why you don't like the kitchen is because you're not making food with 2 other friends. Now, if that was a daily routine, then it actually wouldn't be a big deal. You'd actually enjoy it quite a lot, okay? Because women are social creatures. They just hate making food every single day, 3, 4, 5 times a day for, you know. It's a different kind of environment when you've got 2 other women who are there with you, making the food like this, and then you guys are helping each other and exploring and putting this together with this, and like, oh, we should try this, and then you guys make like this and that. It's amazing what you guys can do if you actually develop those skills. And there is like, and for yourself, like, to have amazing food in your life, like, that's fantastic. Like, that's one of the greatest pleasures on planet Earth. Like, let's make use of it. You know what I'm saying?
Hobbies and talents and just enjoying yourself. Think about this. You no longer have all the stress at work because we've cut down on that. We've cut down on parties and addictive behaviors, so you've got more energy now to actually do more fun stuff, and you've stopped dating completely and taken that out of your life, so you actually now have a lot of time on your hands. with that time, this is what I've written down. Go on tons of activities with friends, especially with women, in large groups and with small groups. It doesn't matter.
Don't go on activities with guys. Okay, that's just gonna give you more testosterone and not gonna be good for you in the long term, okay? Like, go with girls. Create tons of girl communities around you, okay? Tons of girls everywhere. Estrogen, that's what you need. And if your women friends are extremely masculine, because that happens these days, find yourself some feminine girlfriends. Because you become like those you associate with. So that's important.
Just go on tons of activities. Now, if you can do exercise with other women, fantastic. If you can do cooking with other women, fantastic. But also other things are, for example, taking up dancing, or being group classes, learning a new skill, learn how to sing properly, learn languages, learn coordination, stretching, learn talents and hobbies, especially people skills, and what did I write there? Thrifting.
Yoga, Pilates, like whatever it is that's gonna help, you know, that's gonna help your body, that's gonna help your brain, that's gonna help everything like in your life. Just get excited about life. That the opportunities are endless once you begin to become feminine and you realize that, oh, I don't need to work in order for me to be safe and secure for the rest of my life, as long as I'm attached to this community right here. Okay, you can trust that we're working on things, okay? As long as you work on yourself, we're gonna work on these men of high value and we're gonna create an amazing community out of it. So you can be rest assured that life's gonna be fantastic, but you gotta be, you know, you gotta be committed as well, you know, that's required.
Learning things that will make you an absolutely fantastic homemaker is how you prepare for this amazing family lifestyle you're going to have in the future.
Boom. And that was the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. There's tons more to learn from this channel, and I hope you guys get tons more out of it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.